Hi guys, just a quick one. I showed you before on my test with the camera, I think it was, this mushroom field, I'm going to call it. I was just going to show you it again quickly, just before I sprayed it up. There we go. As you can see, they're all pretty basic shape and such. If you want to know how to do these, then I actually got the idea from DMG Info, which is actually, well, the mushroom one is on my playlist if you want to go and find it, and he does lots of different stuff, far above my level. But like I said, I pinched his idea and made up these mushrooms. I just want to show you them quickly again before I spray them up, and then we're going to paint them. Okay, and there we go. Hi guys, and welcome back to the mushroom field that I did. Right, basically we're just going to paint it up quickly. We're going to go for a few different colours. I'm going to have a purple mushroom, red mushroom, and yellow mushroom, and then different spots on them. So at the moment I'm just going to go through and paint a couple of the different mushroom heads. Now, the finish on this one, if you look closely at them, isn't the best in the world. It's a bit lumpy in places, as I'm sure you'll notice once I'm painting these bits up. But that was because I rushed this. If you do it correctly and leave the glue gun hot, then you can actually put a blob on the top and basically just keep twirling around it, as Gareth I believe it's Gareth, on the DMG Info did, and they'll come out quite smoothly, like, well, most of them have, but a few of them have got traces. So, but it was a lesson learned, and for the sake of it, it's still quick and easy and looks really quite good unless you're coming up very, very close. And obviously I'm not top quality terrain here, you know, that sort of thing's obviously more in the area for, I believe it's Titan Scenics, part of Blue Table Painting, whatever it is now, Terranscapes and all that sort of thing. I like to think I'm more getting the normal person to actually put some scenery cheaply on their table that just looks a bit different from what the normal things you buy would be, and also hopefully goes with the theme. I mean, like these mushrooms, of course, though I'm doing them to go with an orc camp, and of course fungus and orcs always go together, let's face it. They could also go with like a jungle theme, of course, being sat in the bottom of bushes or something, and it's a nice way to add a little bit of thickness or something to your cover areas, your oh, I can't think what they're called, area terrain. Right, so we've done the purple. We'll do a couple of blue ones now, I think. I did just forget to mix this, so hopefully it's alright. So I shake it. Basically I'm just going around randomly. I'm trying not to make it so that it's all clumps of one colour or all clumps of another colour. I'm just trying to place them here and there. Just because when it comes to mushrooms and all that sort of thing, you don't really want a uniform thing. I mean, technically, of course, in the wild and all that, they could all be the same sort of mushrooms, and so you could paint all the same sort of mushrooms, different sizes and such, and of course some will have a few deformities, so it's slightly different shape and all that. But I just think it's going to look a little bit more interesting with a few different choices. Right. Well, anyway, I've been prattling on to you now for quite a while. I do apologise. Basically, I've got these few mushrooms left. I'm going to paint those up in a yellow colour, and we'll come back. See you then. Okay guys, basically I got a little bit carried away I carried on. I gave all of the mushrooms another coat of the purple, blue or yellow, just because it then gave it a thicker colour, thicker coat, sorry. I've then, sorry, I'm just looking for a brush. I've then painted the base brown as well, just to get it out of the way. It's still a little bit damp. And I've also painted the stalks a rotting flesh sort of colour, and anywhere that you can see underneath the mushrooms I've actually painted that too, as would be in a mushroom where the veining is. Basically now I'm just getting a bit of grey and dry brushing these rocks, and we'll come back once I've done that and we'll talk about how we're going to add a little bit more detail to the base. Alright, now here's a quick overview of what we've done so far. I've dry brushed the rocks grey. I've also put a big heavy layer of mud wash on the base, and what I'm going to do now is, whilst it's still wet, I'm just going to go in with a few different brown sort of colours and slap that in there randomly in places, just to try and break up the uniform colour of it a bit. That's about all I want of that one. I'll change over and I will go for this here vomit brown, as they called it, and we'll come back basically once I've put a couple of colours on, if I run out of time, because I'm not watching and I know I'm counting down for about 10 seconds. Basically just right, we're back with it. As you can see, whilst it was wet, I applied, well, hopefully you can see there, I've applied some green, which was a camo green style. I will apologise, by the way, all my Games Workshop paint references are out of date as they brought out the new ones, and I just bought an entire set. So anyway, some scorched brown, which is like a darker brown colour, and then a vomit brown, which is a lighter brown. It's kind of like that ill dog poo colour, you know, the one that always just turns into a goo, and let's not go there. Anyway, mix those up whilst it was still wet with the wash and such. Obviously put a bit on of each one, mixed it around the areas, and then washed off the brush so I didn't mix them together. And now the last bit is, of course, putting the blobs on the mushrooms. Now I've decided to go with red blobs on my blue mushrooms, I know these aren't perfectly round, but there you go. And then I'm going to go for black blobs on my yellow mushrooms and camo green, hence why it's quite good that I've mixed it in on the base, for my purple mushrooms. So I'm just making sure the paint's nice and thick so that it leaves a nice blob on there. Just go over and touch up these ones that were a little bit weaker. And there we go. Right. So there's red. Camo green for the purple. Make sure the tip of your brush is dry, obviously, otherwise it's all going to run everywhere. Once again, nice big blobs. Don't worry about the paint being too thick. Sorry, I know my hand's in the way there. Because the point is, at this stage, you want it to be thick so that it causes nice filled circles. And one more there, why not? actually. Let's put a couple. Right, there we go. And then the last colour is black, and then the whole lot's done. So we'll come back when I finished it. See you in a bit. And there we go. Here is the mushroom field, all finished. Obviously, it's not the fanciest of pieces, but for the sake of it and how easy it was to make, a couple of pieces of leftover rubber and such, some cocktail sticks, a little piece of cardboard cut in circles, hot glue, and then just painting it up. Obviously, it's a nice little piece of terrain just to add to your scenery, and it's going to be a nice little piece just to finish off the Orc Settlement set. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and stay tuned to see what else is coming up. Bye bye.